The Flight MH370, a massive plane carrying 239 souls, took off on a clear night in March 2014 and was never seen again. Tonight, we explore the strange trail of events, puzzling clues, wild theories, and the heartbreaking silence left behind. Today, March 8, 2014. Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370 departs from Kuala Lumpur, bound for Beijing. With 227 passengers on board, 12 crew members, and a perfectly normal flight plan. At 12:41 a.m. local time, the Boeing 777 takes off. It's expected to land about 6 hours later. But just 40 minutes in, over the South China Sea, something strange happens. At 1:19 a.m., the final words are heard. "Good night, Malaysian 370. Then, silence. The plane disappears from radar. What follows is the most expensive search in aviation history. Dozens of nations joined in, planes, ships, satellites, all scanning the seas. Initially, search teams looked in the South China Sea, where the flight disappeared from radar. But, days later, the search shifted, thousands of miles southwest. Why? The plane's transponder was off, but it was still pinging a satellite for hours, showing it had kept flying, possibly for 7 more hours. This shifted the search to a remote patch of the Indian Ocean. So, what happened? Here are the leading theories. The first scenario is about pilot suicide. Let's start with one of the most talked about theories. Imagine this. A seasoned captain, Zahari Shah, sitting quietly in the cockpit of MH370. He's flown thousands of hours. Everyone trusts him, but what if, for reasons we may never fully understand, he decided to take the plane off course? Some investigators believe that's exactly what happened. You see, after the last radio message, "Good night, Malaysian 370," plane didn't just disappear. It changed direction. Not randomly, but in a smooth, deliberate path that suggested someone was still in control. Then there's the twist. At home, Captain Zahari had a personal flight simulator. And on it, a route almost identical to the one MH370 may have taken into the Indian Ocean. Was he planning something? Or was it all just coincidence? His family says he was fine. No note, no signs, just questions. The second one is about a sudden failure or a silent flight. Now, here's a more technical but haunting possibility. What if something went horribly wrong, but not on purpose? Picture this. A small fire starts in the plane's systems, or maybe the cabin suddenly loses pressure. The crew scrambles, oxygen masks fall. But something stops them from sending a distress signal. Slowly, without anyone able to act, everyone on board falls unconscious from lack of oxygen. And the plane? It just keeps flying. Silent and empty. On autopilot over the ocean. It's possible. It's happened before, in rare cases. But there's one thing that makes this theory feel off. If this was an accident, why did the plane make a sharp turn and fly for hours in a different direction? Someone had to do that, manually. So, was it an accident at all? The third one is about a secret no one wants to tell. Okay, now we're in conspiracy territory, but hear me out. Some people believe MH370 may have been shot down, maybe by mistake, maybe on purpose. Why? Well, think about this. The plane vanished near some pretty sensitive military zones. What if it strayed off course, was seen as a threat, and someone reacted too quickly? Others suggest the plane was carrying something, or someone important, and someone didn't want it to reach its destination. There's even talk about Diego Garcia, a remote military base in the Indian Ocean. Some believe the plane might have been forced to land there, or worse. Wild, right? Here's the problem. There's no proof, no explosion damage on the debris that has been found, no confirmed radar data showing an attack. But the way governments handled this, delays, secrecy, missing data, it made people suspicious. When answers are missing, imaginations fill in the blanks. And the last one is about a hijack without a hijacker. Now, for a theory that sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, what if MH370 was hijacked? Not by a person on the plane, but by someone sitting at a keyboard. Modern planes like this one use digital controls, almost like a flying computer. Some folks believe it might be possible to take over a plane remotely, maybe to prevent future 9/11s, maybe something else. Could someone have accessed MH370's systems from afar, taken over its flight path, and steered it somewhere secret? And here's a fun fact: 20 of the passengers on board worked for a tech company. That's added just enough mystery to keep the theory alive. The problem? Boeing says no, it can't happen. Not like that. And no solid proof has ever surfaced. Still, it's one of those ideas that sticks in your mind, right? More than a year after the MH370 vanished, the ocean finally whispered something back. In July 2015, a strange piece of debris washed up on the shores of Réunion Island, a quiet, remote place east of Africa. It was part of a wing, something called a flaperon. And soon, investigators confirmed it was from MH370. For the first time, there was real physical proof. And then, slowly, more bits began to appear, on beaches in Mozambique, Madagascar, and other parts of the Indian Ocean. Interior panels, engine pieces, parts of a plane that had drifted for months, maybe years. But here's what's still hard to believe. The main wreckage, the body of the plane itself, and the black box that could explain everything, still missing. It's like the ocean returned only fragments, just enough to say, yes, it was here. And then silence again. As we know, 239 people were on board on that flight, and today, their families still don't know what really happened. No final message, no last location, just memories, and a mystery that refuses to give them peace. But this tragedy didn't just touch hearts, it changed things. After the flight MH370, the world realized how easy it still was to lose track of a modern airplane over oceans. So now, planes must report their position more often, every 15 minutes when flying over water. It's a start. But for the families, for the world, it still doesn't feel like enough. Some mysteries slowly slip away with time. But this one? It's still right here with us. Maybe it was a terrible accident. Maybe something else. Something no one's dared to say out loud. Or maybe, just maybe, it's something we haven't even thought of yet. Whatever happened that night, high above the ocean, the truth is still out there. Maybe it's resting quietly at the bottom of the sea, or hiding in plain sight, just beyond our reach. Until that truth is found, we'll keep asking. We'll keep wondering. Thank you for being curious with me tonight. And remember, not all who are lost are meant to be forgotten. There are countless mysteries out there, some waiting to be solved, others just waiting to be told. I'll be here, following the clues.